I have come to a shocking realization. Over the past 2, maybe 3 months, I have apparently watched 15 animes. Dear God. And I'm not talking about like, ooh, I've watched an episode or 2 here of this one, an episode or 2 of that one. I have watched these shows in their entirety. So I'm going to go through the list. We have Mob Psycho, Call in the Night, Ray Zero, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Blue Box, Dr. Stone, Shangri-La Frontier, Windbreaker, Pluto, Pantheon, I'm losing my breath, Devil May Cry, Free Ren, Captain Laserhawk, I don't really know if that counts as an anime, Pact Op Destiny, and that's it. A lot of these shows are bangers. So many of them I could make a single video on, but because I've been a little bit stuck for time lately, I just hadn't been able to get around to doing it, and now I feel like it's been so long and I've watched so many of them that my thoughts wouldn't be coherent enough to make full long videos on each. So I thought, why not just sit down, go through this list and talk about what I liked about each show. I'm going to try and keep it quick, because this is my 3rd time recording this video. Both times I've talked too long about each show. I need to learn self-control. But we're not going to be talking about every single one on this list. I've created my top 5 out of these, and those are the ones we're mainly going to be talking about. I might talk about a few more here and there, but these ones are the MVP. Mob Psycho, Blue Box, Dr. Stone, Ray Zero, Full Metal, Windbreaker, and Pantheon. And the honourable mentions we have are Pact Op Destiny and Call in the Night, 2 other bangers. First we have Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho was one of those shows that I kept seeing on my Netflix homepage as I was scrolling through looking for something, and I never decided to watch it, but I eventually decided to give it a watch out of boredom really, and I finished the show in about a week. 4 seasons, by the way. 3 seasons, I don't know, I can't remember. I flew through that motherfucker, and it is such a good show, man. We follow Mob, who is just this like stupidly overpowered fucking psychic. In this world, they go around and they basically like extinguish like phantoms and ghosts and spirits and stuff like that, and Mob is just a high school student, but this man has the aura of fucking Vlad the Impaler. He is stupidly strong, probably the strongest in the entire show, but he doesn't like using his powers because of how destructive they are, and his powers are linked to his emotions. So him as a character has to stay monotone for pretty much the entire show. Doesn't mean that he's not funny. He is a very funny character, but like he just has to stay straight faced, because if he gets too excited, too angry, too whatever, he will fucking blow up the fucking universe, I guess. I enjoyed it a lot more than I did. I'm not usually like a fan of like really overpowered characters. We see that he really liked showing off his psychic abilities when he was younger, but as he got older, people were just being weird to him about it, so he just kind of started to neglect them and despised them, really. But he has a job working for this like con man basically, who's like talking about how he's like a spiritual fucking speaker or something, and this man literally cannot do a single thing when it comes to psychic abilities. It's a good show, it's funny, the story's great, the fight scenes unbelievable, the final 2 episodes crazy, man. Crazy. The characters are great, they're really funny. Like one moment that I remember is when the blonde kid like meets him at his school, and he is also a fucking hell, he is also like a psychic, but he's really arrogant and like thinks he's above normal people, and he sees Mob and basically just tries to fucking run that fade, I guess, and he finds out that Mob is also a psychic, so he just starts punching him through buildings and shit the entire time, trying to just get him to fight back. And my guy is literally like, oh come on, stop man, like you're wrecking the school, this is my favorite classroom, you know, like stupid shit. Moments like that is what make the show for me. It's really funny. Now we have Blue Box. This is a very random one considering the entire list I have right here. Blue Box is a romance sports anime, and it is phenomenal. Like words can't describe how much I enjoyed this show. It was the first romance anime I ever watched. Kind of like romance, sports, and a little bit of slice of life in here. I've never watched either of those types of animes, so this was my first for all 3. And my god, man, it was fucking beautiful. Basically, the main premise of the show is this guy Taiki goes to this new school that is pretty much all about sports. They have really good basketball players, great badminton players, which is the sport Taiki plays, and they also have gymnasts as well. And now we first meet Taiki when he's talking about the fact that he met a girl that he really likes in his new school. First scene is him running early in the morning so he could get to the gym to get early practice in before school starts. And there he meets Chinatsu, who is a very very much like sports, basketball oriented person. She has incredible work ethic and like drive. And unlike most romance where like people are like, oh, this girl's really hot, you know, I'm really interested in her or something. This man literally falls in love with this woman because of her work ethic and how much she makes him want to be better at his sport. Fucking great. And the plot basically kicks off when Taiki realizes that like Chinatsu is moving back home with her family because they need to help out her grandmother. So he rushes to the gym, but like says to her like, you can't go, you need to go to nationals, yada yada yada, gives this whole speech only for her to turn around and say, oh no, I'm not going, I'm staying with a family friend. And my guy was gobsmacked. But we cut to the next day and Taiki is really embarrassed about the whole speech that he gave. But he realizes it's the weekend, so he knows he's not gonna have to see Chinatsu. So he makes his way down to the kitchen to make himself some breakfast, and dun dun dun! Turns out Taiki's mother is actually the family friend of hers, and she's going to be staying with him. And you can see where shit goes from there. Not really. It's very like subverting type of expectations, but like it's very fucking entertaining. I was rooting for these motherfuckers the entire show. Like they make a pact that they're both going to work really hard so they can go to nationals together, and like they just build such a bond. Like she gives him a bracelet for his ankle, like a friendship bracelet. It's just really motivational, like seeing this character work really hard, and like the animation as well. For a badminton anime, the fucking animation didn't need to go this hard. It is bonkers, man. It like you can literally see when he's going to fucking spike that motherfucker down. Is it called a spike in badminton? You can literally see my man's every joint move, not even just in like the location that like you're like focusing on. Their legs are moving fluidly. They are moving how they would actually move when playing a badminton match. It's crazy. Like, that can't be understated. That is impressive as shit. And throughout the whole season, we watch this man get better and better, and you can actually see the improvement. Really worth a watch. Only one season. Next is Dr. Stone. This is one that I don't know why it took me so long to start watching. My mates have been crazy about this show for so long, literally since the first season came out, and I understand why. It is just so fucking unique, man. Like it can't be overstated. This show, the premise of it in general is just insane. Senku is the protagonist, and he's just this really like over the top type of scientist type of character, like mad scientist type. He is really smart. This man has been building genuine rockets that like, you know, go up into space and shit since he was like 5. Well, him and his best friend Taiji, and we basically start with them in class just, you know, having a bit of banter, yada yada yada, and then all of a sudden a big fucking light goes into the sky and covers the entire area. And what this does is it turns the entire human populace into stone. And our main character is petrified for 3,700 years. So pretty much every man-made facility, everything that humans have ever created is taken back over by the earth, and it basically looks how it looked back in the Stone Age. And eventually our main character gets released from this fucking prison because a droplet of some substance is like landing on his head, and that got him out of the petrified state. But the reason it done that was because my man was still conscious. My man was conscious for 3,700 years as a stone. And the way he done that was to keep counting from the first second that he got petrified until he gets released. Fucking bonkers. And because he done that, when he gets out, he's able to estimate what year it is. And I think he says something along the lines of like 5,700 or something along those lines. And this man is adamant that he is going to rebuild civilization using science. He uses natural resources in actual ways that you can actually make this type of shit, talks about it in detail, and then creates it. And it's fucking entertaining as shit. His main goal is to go around and unpetrify everyone. Like, he wants to unpetrify the entire world. And the story basically progresses from there with that premise in mind, and they continuously build more and more increasingly fucking like advanced shit in this like stone world. It's crazy. It's so fun to watch. It's entertaining. It's tense at a lot of times. The science in it is, to my knowledge, actually accurate. It's real. And the main character is just an actual nut job, basically. This man spawns into this world and he just sees opportunity. That's all he sees. He doesn't see the disaster as what it actually was. He just sees opportunity. He sees that he can remake this world with science and bring everyone back. The show goes on. We learn about the mystery mysteries of what happened back then, like why did everyone get petrified. It's just sick, man. It's just so good. I hate the fact that it took me so long to watch this show. Oh, it's so annoying, but it's great. If I talk more about it, we'll be here hours, as like I'm literally trying to restrain myself right now. It hurts, as you can tell. Great show. Give it a watch. It's worth it. Now, next on the list is one that I was very wrong about. Very, very wrong. And that is Ray Zero, starting life in a new world or something. When I first seen it, from the cover art alone, it looks like a very cutesy, happy-go-lucky type of show, but dear lord, I was wrong. My god, I couldn't have been more wrong. Basically starts as kind of like an isekai, but it's done a little bit differently. He literally comes out of his cave to go to the store to get a manga or something like that, and as he is walking back across the road, it's literally a blink and my guy is in a different world. Kind of interesting. But this guy comes into this new world with his isekai knowledge, and he thinks like, oh, I've been born into a new world, like maybe I'm just gonna have like a crazy amount of mana or magical powers or something. We eventually run into Amelia, some shenanigans ensue, they end up at a cabin, and up until this point it is very much a happy-go-lucky type of show. But then we walk into this cabin. I think it was looking for like a pendant that Amelia owned. Subaru, who's the main character, walks into this cabin to see Amelia bleeding out on the floor just before this man gets sliced down himself. Like, I was thinking, like, what the fuck, he's dead? Like, it's literally episode 1, maybe episode 2. But we then see that this man actually does have some powers, but it's called, like, back from death or something like that, return from death, which basically means when he dies, he respawns at his latest checkpoint in the story. And that power in and of itself is why this show is so fucked. But after this happens, he is like constantly trying to get back onto that story path because no one else remembers what happened, but he keeps failing and dies over and over and over again until he finally figures out, why don't I just go to the cabin instead and start there, you know? But everything seems to be going fine until the buyer of the pendant shows up, which just so happens to be the woman that likes to disembowel people. A fight ensues that ends in Subaru getting disemboweled, which to him he describes as the most painful thing he has ever experienced, because he is alive for a solid few minutes after he gets his stomach cut open, and he feels every single ounce of pain from it. And then when he finally dies, he respawns back at the checkpoint again. You see the pattern. This character has gone through, honestly, probably the most hell I've ever seen in a show. My man dies many times, and we don't even get to see all of them. Some of them are excruciatingly painful. There is one scene in particular where my man sees a snow bunny, and it looks very cute, and he's very like, oh, it's so adorable, how, let me pet you, la la la. Only to find out that they are apparently a magical beast that feed on human flesh. Then we see that hundreds of more of these rabbits spawn, and these motherfuckers proceed to eat this man alive from the inside out, while the entire time he is alive and feeling every second of every bit of pain, only to then respawn and have to do it all again. Yeah, not the best fucking cards I've ever seen anyone get dealt. He dies in painful ways over and over again. He sees the people he loves and cares about get brutally murdered in many different fucked up ways, and every time he respawns, nobody remembers it. And you might be thinking, why doesn't he just tell people? That's a fun fact in and of itself. Whenever my man goes to even mention the fact that he is able to come back from death and restart, an invisible hand gets his heart in a chokehold that makes him feel like he's about to die when he is trying to say it. And if he bites the bullet and just fights through the pain and does it, the person he is saying it to dies right in front of his eyes. It's crazy. This show is bonkers. I would highly recommend going and watching it. It is very entertaining, and like, fuck me, it's dark, man. Some of the moments are just like, Jesus Christ, how is he getting out of this one? Ah, yes, the anime I have been told to watch for fucking generations. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. It's fucking phenomenal. It is a fantastic show. The world, the characters, the plot itself, the way it's written, and everything about it in that regard is just well fucking done, I must say. But the one thing that I notice with this show that other shows do not do is it is one continuous storyline. And yes, there are other animes that are like, they have like a goal in mind, similar to like Dr. Stone, where they're trying to figure out what fucking caused the event. But there are a lot of other like mini like arcs and stuff going through it, where like you have a climax of the battle at the end of the season, and that happens every season. We see a new big bad that gives us more information about the overarching story, and then we have a big climactic whatever happens. happens, and then next season same thing, you know, adding more like breadcrumbs for us in there. One thing that was really weird to me is that this show does not do that. This show is just a continuous story from start to finish. I think it's like 4 seasons, and I didn't even realize whenever it was a new season, because of the fact that there was no like, you know, climactic arc at the end of each season. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or anything, I'm just saying that it's something that I've never really seen before. I will say the first episode, fucking banger. Really fucking good. Like, just the introduction to the 2 main characters, the 2 brothers who are trying to use alchemy to get their mother back, only to find out the hard way that death doesn't like to be cheated. Because in this world, like a lot of magic worlds, is like it's a give and a take type of system. You need to give something to, you know, produce this type of magic. So when these boys try to bring back their mother, one of the boys completely fades from existence, and the other one, which is our main boy, is literally like, he gets his arm taken off, his leg taken off, but he is sent back and he sees like a glimpse of the truth, is what they call it in the show, which is apparently something that kind of sends people mad. But literally as soon as this man is brought back to life, he is instantly making another like alchemy circle to like forge his brother's soul into a suit of armor. Weirdly enough, I don't have too much to say about this show. Like, it's a great show. I have no complaints about it. Like, there are really cool characters like Roy Mustang, who is like one of the strongest fucking soldiers there are. And like, there is a lot of drama and like, you know, trying to figure out mysteries and stuff like that. But like, I don't have much to say about it. I don't know. I don't even think I could say anything about it that hasn't been said. It's just a great show. Okay, folks, so I decided to make this video into 2 parts instead of just this one. Mainly because if I just kept it all together, the video would have literally been like 35 minutes. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to see part 2, let me know down in the comments and by leaving a like. I will get part 2 out as soon as I see people want it. I just want to say all of the animes that we were talking about today weren't in any particular order, even when I had them on the list. So don't be thinking because I had Fullmetal Alchemists last and I didn't have much to say about it that I dislike that show compared to the others. That is very far from the truth. Get it? The truth. I enjoyed all of these shows thoroughly in their own different ways. But yeah, with that said, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Comment down below if you saw the video. Comment down below if you want to see the next video. If you like my face and you want to see more, make sure to subscribe and check out the channel. Plenty of different content on there, different varieties, different shapes and sizes for everyone. So I'm sure there will be something on there that you will enjoy. But with that said, folks, it's been EXO, and I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one, folks.